We took him to the circus.
No! You let me down,
Oh, no,
Jack!
great.
Let me
Come on.
down! No, Jack, let me down! No!
This is the most shameless man I've ever encountered. He grabbed another man's wife and decided to play some impulsive game. The woman was completely terrified and couldn't help but cry out for help, but the man ignored her desperate pleas and forcibly carried her as he jumped into the bottomless ocean. The man's name was Jack, and at that moment, Jack had no idea that his reckless impulse would lead to an irreversible tragedy. The instant they hit the water, Jack suddenly remembered he hadn't deployed the ladder. What made it worse was that the ladder could only be opened from inside the yacht, and the smooth hull was impossible to climb. They were all terrified. In this vast, endless ocean, they could be attacked by sharks at any moment. Now the yacht had no adults aboard except for a sleeping child. Jack was the last person to jump from the boat, and his recklessness had trapped everyone in a desperate situation. Even more horrifying was the fact that the yacht was now in the middle of the ocean, dozens of kilometers from the nearest land. Swimming back was simply impossible. In this moment of despair, Jack, the boat owner, suddenly thought of a solution. He found an inflatable dolphin and tried to step on it to climb back up, but the small dolphin couldn't support Jack's weight. He flipped over before even getting up, and the dolphin deflated. The helpless Jack then tried to grab the flag and climb up, but the flag couldn't bear his weight either and tore completely. When the others saw this, they panicked and frantically asked if Jack had any other way to get back up. But by then, Jack was completely out of options. As hope of escape vanished, everyone's attitude began to change. They all started blaming Jack. If he hadn't been so impulsive, if Jack hadn't carried the woman into the sea, they wouldn't be in such a dire situation. But what was done was done. What good would arguing do now? Just as everyone was quarreling, a piercing phone ringtone suddenly rang out. They quickly swam over. It was coming from someone's pants. Seeing this, everyone felt saved. If they could get the phone, they could escape this predicament. Jack lunged forward and successfully grabbed the pants, but when he pulled out the phone, he discovered it had been water damaged. Combined with poor signal on the ocean, after some static sounds, the phone was completely dead. No matter how loudly they shouted, they got no response. Watching their hope of rescue vanish again, the furious Jack threw the phone away. This action left everyone stunned. No one expected Jack to do such a thing. In this endless ocean, losing the phone meant losing their only hope of rescue. The women began screaming and arguing, blaming each other and venting their emotions. While they were all quarreling, a yacht suddenly appeared in the distance. Were they finally saved? Like madmen, they quickly swam toward the yacht, waving their arms frantically and shouting for help. However, the people on the approaching yacht thought they were just waving hello, simply waved back a few times, and sailed away before their eyes. What could they do now? Could they only wait for sharks to devour them piece by piece? The unwilling Jack suddenly had a plan. He told everyone to take off their swimsuits and tie them together to make a rope, then throw it onto the deck. Upon hearing they had to remove their swimsuits, the women were somewhat reluctant, but to survive, they had no other choice. After taking off their swimsuits and tying them together, they handed everything to Jack. Everyone waited nearby with hopeful eyes as he used all his strength to throw the makeshift rope onto the deck. Success! They cheered loudly, thinking they were about to be saved. But what no one expected was that just as Jack was about to climb onto the deck, at this crucial moment, the clothes couldn't bear the weight and tore apart.